Live.
Christ is the head of this house, the unseen guest at every meal, the silent listener to every conversation. Welcome to He Carries Me Over Ministry Incorporated's special event, 12 Days of Christmas. As we go into the night, 6 days of Christmas, I want you to listen, because I'm going to put you into a challenge. But I want you to listen first. I know this year has not been good for some people. Some of you have seen your mother pass on. Some have seen a spouse. Some have seen their daddy. And Bob was involved in a car wreck and scared 1,000 years both out of them. But I want you to just think, was 2023 such a bad year? It was. What can be done to make 2024 a little bit better than 2023? First, let's go back to the beginning of 2023, toward the beginning of it. This was at the time that a beloved lady, Lois Thornsberry, passed on. She left behind 2 daughters, Donna and Lisa. And then toward spring, the beloved Kathy Lay had to say goodbye to her spouse of 35 years. Then bringing it up, Tanya and Melody had to say goodbye to their daddy and my brother, Wayne. And then Bob had a car accident. Things happen to us all. Every one of us has had a parent to die, or both of them to die. Folks, it happens. It's for it to happen. Things happen for a purpose. But as we sit and grieve, and I know some of you all has had your mother or both of parents die 20 plus years. You still don't get into celebrating the Christmas season because of this. Are we really in a grief for them? Or are we thinking about ourselves? Let me explain that. When my first died in 1993, I kept thinking, well, what do I do now? And then it occurred to me, Alan, you're only thinking of yourself. I was only thinking about myself. I changed quickly. People, we've got to go through this. But what would our loved one tell us if they could tell us? They would point blank say, don't worry about me. Grief, loneliness is a part of worry. People, you can let worry get out of hand. It can get out of control with you. Don't let it do that. When you start thinking about this loved one, let your mind drift toward the Lord. People, He will take this away from you. And He will make the road just a little bit more smooth. Misty, your mother has been gone 21 years. Start celebrating Christmas. Start celebrating it next year. I want to see that tree up next year. December 2024. I want to see that tree up. Because what would she tell you? Misty, don't worry about me anymore. People, we are going to miss them daily. They are not to be forgotten. Please don't even try to forget them. But we've got to learn to let go. And don't think of ourselves. Well, what am I going to do now? See, we're only thinking about ourselves. We can't do that. We've got to think of the family we have now. Our spouse, our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren. We've got to think about them. Like I said the other time, they see that in our eyes and in our face. And they're going to be down too during the Christmas season. They shouldn't be that way. We should be celebrating it with them. So start thinking about it. And as our minds go on to this person that has gone over Jordan's surely tide, let your mind start drifting unto the Lord. And He will lighten the load. That's a promise, people. If we can only do that, start thinking about the Lord. Our minds will be settled down. See, right now our minds are, they're everywhere. It's everywhere. Our mind is. Not on one thing. Why? Because we're missing that loved one during this time of the year. It seems, people, Christmas is the time that we miss them the most. Yeah, we do. We miss them. But we got to let our minds go into the Lord. And He will absolutely see you through. Now, I'm not going to say He's going to take it all off. He will not. But He will make the load more bearable for you to handle. Without that, people, don't let it drive you crazy. Because it will, if you will let it. Just put your mind on the Lord. And let Him control it. He'll control it. We can't. Because when my mother died, I thought I was dying. But I had to turn it over to the Lord. And He saw me through. And He will you too. Now to make 2024 a little bit better, here's your challenge. There's 366 days in 224. This is leap year. Leap year makes it one day more. That's 366 prayers. Or a little talk with Jesus. 366. You can have this little talk in the morning when you get up, in the evening when you lay down, or any time. During the day, any time, during the night you wake up, have a little talk with Him. For 366 days. That one little talk. Each and every day, have a little talk with Him. And you will see that 2024 will be far better than 2023. It will. It'll be better. Just have a little talk with Him. Each time that you think about that loved one that's gone, let your mind drift into the Lord. And watch the wheels start turning in your favor. People, I believe that's one thing that's got us all in trouble. We don't we don't put God in control, and we need to start doing that. Let Him control. People, He will. Just have that little talk with Him. Just like I said, it could be in the morning when you rise up. It could be in the evening before you go to sleep. It could be any time through the day, any time through the night you wake up. have a little talk with him. 366 little talks throughout 2024 will make the wheel start rolling in your favor. So on this sixth night of 12 days of Christmas, let's start turning it over to God and let Him be in control. Because we need to do that, people. This old world is getting out of hand. It is. It's getting out of hand. If it ain't one thing to worry about, it's the next. But we shouldn't be doing that. Put your mind upon the Lord. For He said, our mind should be upon Him 24/7 in the book of Psalms. Our mind should be upon Him and nothing else. Let Him control. Put Him in control. Put Him as the pilot of your ship, of your airplane. Put Him as the pilot. And let Him control. 366 little talks with God throughout 2024. That's all He's asking. A little talk ever so often. Every day. Not ever so often. We've got to do it every day. 366 talks with Him in 2024. That's all He's asking. Have a blessed time.